Aidan Hutchinson last week, it was nice to see him out there talking about his struggles, kind of learning a little bit of what it was like for him trying to work his way back, what his mindset has been. But he admitted now, he openly said, I've been fully cleared. So he's ready to now be a full participant as a member of the Detroit Lions. And then obviously the national reports and those that are speculating want to know, what does this mean for his contract? How does this now, the fact that Aidan Hutchinson is a full go, what does it mean for his position, for his opportunity to earn a mega deal? And it still opens up the same subject, which is, should the Lions wait and see what he produces? Because he's already under contract. They are not forced to give Aidan Hutchinson a new deal. They could play a little bit of strong ball and say, okay, we want to see what you bring to the table in 2025. Do you go out and get 15 sacks? Or do you say, okay, there's two options. You commit and you say, we know what this guy is going to bring. I mean, he's talented. He is a hard worker. He's the heartbeat of the team. He is the guy that you're championing as the defensive end that's going to be a star. So that would indicate paying him 40, 41 million, maybe setting the market, maybe at least being in the conversation as being paid similarly to Myles Garrett. But at the same token, there's the other side that says, well, you still got time to see how he further progresses with that devastating injury. You just wait and see, because if you're going to give somebody $200 million over, 5 years per se, an average annual value of around $40 million, you want to make sure that the product out on the field looks good. You say, okay, look, Aidan, you got to showcase this year. And if you do showcase 15, 20 sacks, you get up there back to the same defensive player of the year level, we probably would have no problem even paying 45. Even saying, okay, maybe we got to take a little bit of a hit and pay you more based on the production that you have. What say you in regards to what does him being cleared mean? How should they handle it now? Because by and large, the expectation is he's going to develop, and with a break like he had, he's going to return to the player that can be a dominant defensive end. But there still is a small risk that something happens, or a risk of re-injury, or something that could prevent him from being a dominant force. Do you take that risk and pay him early? Or do you say, you know what, be a little bit of a tough negotiator and let him play it out?
I think that for me, if I'm the Lions front office, I'm trying to get this deal done quick. And the reason for that is, obviously the injury is the main factor here. And if he re-injures it and you already have the big extension done, then you can start to have quite a few concerns. But if I'm a member of the Lions front office, I want to get this deal done, because right now the market is at $40 million. And, you've seen guys like Danielle Hunter and Max Crosby kind of get their deals done. Max Crosby got his done just before Myles Garrett did. But there is a little bit of a gap between first with Garrett and then that second and third range with Danielle Hunter and Max Crosby. I think for Hutchinson, if you could slot him right in the middle of that and put him in the latest contract prediction I did for him when I went through the 2022 class, I had him at 4 years, $148 million, which is good for 37 million average per year. I think that's like an ideal range if I'm the Lions, because he's not setting the market. He's going to be the second highest paid defensive end in the league. And you've got a little bit of wiggle room there. And who knows what happens to the salary cap in another couple of years with the way edge rushers are paid. That would probably look like a discount in another year or two. Like, Hutchinson's a very good player. Has he earned top end money? Has he earned the right to be the guy, the highest paid guy in the league at that position? I don't think so right now, because he's only in his third year, or going into his fourth year, and he only played 5 games last year. Was he one of the best, if not the best, pass rushers before he got hurt? Yes. Is there always a concern that if he had stayed healthy, that production would have tailed off? Also, yes. Aidan Hutchinson is a very good player. Would I make Aidan Hutchinson the highest paid player in the league, or at the edge rusher position in the league right now? No. Would I make him the second highest paid player? Absolutely. Absolutely. I've got no issue with that. And if he goes out there and does well, and then in another couple of years, you can renegotiate and make him that guy. So anytime you're throwing money like that around, it's got to be a sure thing. If I was the Lions, I'd do it 4 years, $148 million. I may even go to $38 million a year, or $39. I'm just not ready to go to that precipice yet. The highest I'd maybe go is maybe match 40 mil, but I'm not going any higher right now. That said, if he goes out there and has a really good year this year, now that price tag is 42, 43, maybe 45 million a year. So it's a little bit of a gamble, but if I'm the Lions, I want this deal done right now, because there's always the chance that he outperforms what he did, and all of a sudden now that price tag is well above 40.